And welcome back. This morning, there's a new terror threat that's targeting malls in the U.S., Canada, and Great Britain. In a moment, I'm going to ask Homeland Security Chief Jay Johnson how serious U.S. officials are taking this threat from an al-Qaeda offshoot from Somalia. But first, this week's brutal mass beheadings of Egyptian Coptic Christians in Libya shows that the threat has expanded well beyond Syria and Iraq. Our chief foreign correspondent, Richard Engel, has been looking at how what started as a small offshoot of al-Qaeda in Iraq has expanded to become such a menace to the world.
The hostages weren't famous, just Egyptian Christians who'd been looking for migrant work in Libya. They're famous now, butchered as part of the ISIS plan to enslave, convert, or exterminate opposing faiths.
And today, we're on the south of Rome, on the land of Islam, Libya, sending another message.
And something else was murdered 21 times on that terrible day on the beach, the hopes and dreams of the Arab Spring, and with them, the U.S. administration's Mideast policy. Some experts are now calling Libya the Somalia of the Mediterranean, a lawless land across from Europe's shores. Libya was the Obama administration's first war of choice.
What George W. Bush did to Iraq is the same thing that President Barack Obama did to Libya. That is, he took a state that was stable, that was an ally in the war on terror, and went in with a military intervention and destroyed the state.
Although there was no identifiable threat or benefit to the United States, the administration sent in the jets to defend Libyan rebels on moral grounds. Colonel Muammar Gaddafi had repeatedly said he was about to flatten with no mercy the city of Benghazi, where a rebel uprising, live tweeted and full of hope, was brewing.
We have intervened to stop a massacre.
An administration that couldn't wait to get out of Iraq sent American troops into Libya and kept them overhead until Gaddafi was well and truly gone.
We came, we saw, he died.
Then the U.S. left Libya to the Mad Max militiamen who had taken it over.
The best rebels turned out to be radical Islamists.
And the war in Libya would have far broader implications than that. It raised expectations in the wider Arab world. In Syria, people took to the streets, confident that they too would get American help. The administration at first encouraged the Syrian rebels, but never sent them any meaningful assistance or heavy weapons. And like a wound in the body, the growing chaos in Syria spread, ISIS advanced, and brought down Iraq next door, which was barely on its feet after 10 years of war. It was there, in the Iraqi city of Mosul, that ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi declared himself the Caliph of the Islamic State, founding a terrorist state across Syria and Iraq, armed with American weapons his men took from the Iraqi army, which all but collapsed in fear. Now, the U.S. is being dragged back into war in the Middle East. It hopes to stand the Iraqi army back up and send it into battle to take back Mosul with the help of Kurdish fighters from northern Iraq. The U.S. military says some American ground troops may be needed to lead the charge. Taking Mosul will not be easy, especially since ISIS has had months to prepare for the battle. The real question is, what's the wider strategy for stability in Iraq and Syria and now Libya? Stability that would truly deny ISIS a home. This remains the hard question, and this administration has yet to offer a convincing answer.
And Chuck, several U.S. military officials who I've been speaking with have privately expressed a great amount of frustration at what they see as a lack of clarity about the U.S. strategy against ISIS. When I asked our NBC military analyst, Colonel Jack Jacobs, about the strategy, he paraphrased Lewis Carroll's Alice in Wonderland, saying, "If you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there."